Yeah, the Christian music guys. Make some noise for the Christian music guys.
Well, today on the Christian Music Guys, we're thrilled to welcome David L. Cunningham, the director behind the new ABC holiday special, Kevin Costner Presents The First Christmas. This beautifully crafted 2-hour presentation, part of this year's ABC holiday lineup, follows the extraordinary journey of Mary and Joseph as they navigate the hardships, trials, and triumphs surrounding the birth of Christ. David brings a powerful creative vision to this project, blending authentic storytelling and deep respect for diversity for the Christian faith. We're excited to talk to him today about collaborating with Kevin Costner, bringing this iconic story to life, and why this project is so important for audience this season. David, thank you so much for chatting with me.
Yeah, great to be here, Jacob. Thank you.
Yeah, so, okay, tell folks a little bit about this project and what inspired you to take this project on and what drew you personally to the story of the birth of Christ.
A few years ago, Mark Pierce and I, who's kind of our lead executive producer, were kicking around the idea of basically going back to this simple story. Well, it's not a simple story, but going back to the story that is probably the most significant story that there ever was and is, and to having an unvarnished look at it, kind of taking the coziness out of it and go, really, what was it like back then to be in Mary and Joseph's sandals, so to speak? And then we were talking about formats and so on. And eventually the whole concept of, remember when Walt Disney used to introduce movies?
Yeah.
Going, well, what if we had someone kind of introduce this film and tell the story along the way? And then sort of like miniature podcasts with experts, being able to give some input along the way. And that's kind of how it all came together. And we thought, who would be an amazing storyteller? And when Kevin's name came up, we were like, yeah, that'd be amazing. And through Mark's past work with him, we were able to get to him. And when he said yes, and not only yes, he wanted to really make it personal. And that's how he opens the show, is talking about his connection to this story. So that's kind of how it came together. It's just one of those things that worked out. And when ABC took this and ran with it, we couldn't be more happy.
Yeah. Now, when I think of Kevin Costner, I think of two of my favorite Kevin movies, which is Dances with Wolves and then Field of Dreams. And so to see him, I mean, totally two different movies there, but to see Kevin do a role like this is pretty sweet. What was it like working with Kevin? And I mean, does he share his faith at all with you guys? I know he does, in the documentary. So.
Yeah, I can't speak for Kevin. I think he speaks for himself quite clearly in the show. And but in terms of working with him, I just was like you, a big fan. Always have been. Dances with Wolves, absolutely. Field of Dreams, yeah. And he, of course, directed Dances with Wolves. So both as a filmmaker and as an actor, it was just a privilege to be able to work with him. And I just had my radar up, going, what can I do to kind of serve you on this process, because you clearly know what you're doing. And so it was more like that, and just finding out how he likes to work and trying to best support and serve him. So there was a thrill, and I think the main topic in terms of his own faith is really what he shared, and those words are his own, and it was an amazing fit.
Yeah. So the documentary explores the hardships, uncertainty, and the faith of Mary and Joseph. How did you approach capturing their humanity?
Yeah, and if you don't mind, a small correction. It's really a docudrama, not necessarily
Docudrama. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a reenactment too. Yeah.
yeah. Just so your audiences know that we wanted that feel like you're watching a movie with Kevin Costner, and but I think the main kind of theme that I wanted to pull the audience into was, as I mentioned earlier, being in this perspective of Mary and Joseph. Can you imagine this very young couple, and I don't know if you're a parent, Jacob, but when I brought my little girl home for the first time, our first baby, my wife and I was scared to death. And when the nurse handed the infant to me, I was like, is this legal? I don't know what I'm doing. My wife, she's gonna have to learn fast too. And we had a car seat, we had a crib, we had all those things. But can you imagine a teenage couple in a cold cave, and when infant mortality was through the roof and women dying in childbirth all the time, and being born into this brutal world of the Roman Empire and a demonic King Herod out to kill their child. And oh, yeah, and by the way, this is the Son of God,
Yeah.
no pressure. And so I just wanted us to kind of go back and appreciate this couple and their courage and their faith, to step forward in all of this. And not to mention, even when Mary, after she's visited by Gabriel the angel, she's got to go tell her family and her fiance that I'm pregnant. And by the
Mm.
way, it's the Son of God, and I'm still a virgin.
Yeah.
And that's,
You'd be thrown in the straitjacket these days.
yeah, or back then you'd be stoned to death, quite literally.
Right. Yeah.
So, what did that take for a teenage girl to have that kind of courage and that kind of faith, you know, that she stepped up? And I think we kind of have a cozy perspective of the story often, and I think it's definitely worth visiting and again and again. And hopefully, audiences will be encouraged in their own faith. Audiences that perhaps don't share my same faith will appreciate this of as the origin story for this holiday and learn something about it.
Yeah. So speaking of the acting, can you walk us through some of the the moments, the creative choices behind the acting? The acting in the film is phenomenal. I don't know, the choices and how you guys got the people to play these parts, but it's outstanding. And how did you bring those to those Bible moments to life on camera?
Well, thanks, Jacob. Yeah, we're very proud of our cast. And, as they say, 90% of directing is casting, you know.
Yeah.
And and we were fortunate to really have freedom to cast who was best for the role because we had Kevin Costner, we had our star. And oftentimes you are obligated for marketing purposes to try to populate your cast with people that have, big followings or whatever. And we didn't need to do that. We could just cast who was right. And so we cast out of Europe, London and Rome, Spain, and then out of Morocco. And what we're really proud of, in addition to the leading cast, is even the extras. And I just would love for people when they watch it just to look around that frame and look at those faces and look at their behaviors. These extras there in Morocco are just phenomenal, and they come from that general region. They know how people lived, and they just fit in that world. And so we're very, very proud of the whole cast.
Yeah. Now, being a Christian music podcast, I enjoy when I listen to movies or watch movies and documentaries. I really listen for the music, and I love the score of this. Can you tell us about that and the creative choices behind that?
Well, another thing we're very proud of, um, our lead composer, his name is Yaron, and his partner is Pavel. And Yaron lives in Jerusalem. He's Israeli, Hebrew, and his studio is there in Old Jerusalem. And he's using a lot of the ancient instruments in this process. And there's some lyrics that hover in the score, and those are in Hebrew, and those are right from Scripture. And Yoron is a committed believer of Yeshua, as they say there, and a talented guy. And so we were able to work with him and his partner and put this score together. So I'm glad you appreciate it, Jacob, and noticed it because there's some real special stuff going on in the score.
Yeah. Now, what do you hope families experience when they sit down to watch this this coming Tuesday?
It sounds like a cliche, but it's the Christ in Christmas. You know,
Yeah.
we get so caught up in all the stuff, and let's not forget the person. You know, it's like forgetting. It's like having a generic birthday and forgetting the person that you're celebrating. So that's it, and that people will um, be encouraged and be challenged and yeah, that they will remember the reason for the season.
Yeah. I was explaining to my wife about the this documentary slash drama coming out Tuesday, and I said I think it's so cool that ABC, not a Christian channel, is doing something like this. An hour and a half of the gospel um, that is shared to man, it's going to be millions of people. And to think about that, that's incredible. And what are your thoughts on that as well?
Uh, Same. I'm
Yeah,
thrilled. And
it's
I
cool.
and I think when the connective point between Christianity, religion, faith, and a broad audience is authenticity. And people can sense it when you're doing propaganda, when you're waving your finger at somebody. But we tried to just stick to the original text, and it's unlike, for whatever reason, people have had freedom in the past to try to put a spin on biblical stories, and not always, but often. And you're like, why? It's worked for thousands of years. Let's not mess with it. And I think ABC appreciated that we were doing basically a historical drama, and it ties in, of course, to the biggest holiday of the year, and we're super grateful to them for partnering with us.
Yeah. So Kevin Costner presents The First Christmas. It's Tuesday, December the 9th. What time does that start?
8 o'clock.
8 p.m. Eastern time. Alrighty. And what let's end this with, let me ask you a question. Is there a Christmas memory that you remember growing up doing, or is it something you still continue to do with your families, or something out there that sticks out to you?
Ooh, that's a good question. I live in Hawaii and I grew up here, so my Christmases were sunny.
Yeah.
So I had as a kid, I had a tradition of going down and surfing by myself at sunrise, and that was something that I really enjoyed doing and connecting. But as a family, we same as all families, we like to kind of cozy up next to the tree and love on each other and be with each other. And we've got some of those traditions like watching Die Hard. you know, got to
Yep.
fit that in there, and then various animations and so on. So I think it's about being together. So whatever that looks
Yeah.
like. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And
What else? Oh, go ahead.
one other thing, Jacob, just for your audience to know, on the 10th, it drops on Hulu and Disney Plus. So
Okay.
if people don't have broadcast television, uh,
Sure.
it's the next day.
Yeah. And then what else do you have in the future? Any plans working on any other projects that you can
We
announce?
are. We are. We've got some other projects that are Bible related and some that aren't. And we're going to be announcing some of those very soon that we're quite excited about and hoping to build on the momentum of this. And Lord willing, people receive this show well and it continues to open doors.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Costner presents The First Christmas on ABC Tuesday, December the 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern. And following day on Hulu and Disney Plus. David Maka, right?
Mele Kalikimaka.
Woohoo! Thank you. Thank you
All
so
right.
much for chatting.
Yeah, take care, Jacob. Thank you.
They're the Christian music guys. Yeah, the Christian music guys.